All righty, 6:30, I'm calling this meeting to
All
order
right,
on time. Wow,
I know.
it's very fun. Okay, first on the agenda would be the acceptance of minutes. However, there was an issue with the minutes, so we are going to table them to next month.
Not our minute.
No, our minutes are good,
Yeah.
the executive session minutes. I'm not sure, we need to.
They were on ours, right?
No.
No,
Oh,
Because-
I beg
All
your
you have to
pardon,
say
I
is they
stand
weren't
corrected.
yeah, because those are actually the,
Okay.
technically, I guess they were selected, but I don't know if we need to do that as well. Because it's a
Okay.
joint meeting,
All right,
that's why I didn't bring them,
oh, okay.
but ours are okay.
I stand corrected. The issue was not with our minutes. So Jane is in time, let the record show she just arrived. So we're at the approval of the regular meeting minutes of February 12th.
Make a motion to approve the Old Saybrook Park and Rec Commission meeting minutes of February 2025. With the following exception, section 7A and 9A should be Susan Esty rather than Susan Etsy.
I wish I was Richard. If only I had all.
Oh,
the-
right here. Oh, it is. I still am looking at it. I read it. I didn't notice.
Thank you for
They're both
observing
words,
that.
so. I guess,
7A and what?
okay.
Well,
Nine A?
it's capital 9A, so it won't catch it. Oh,
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor with a correction of spelling for my name. Is there a second? Nancy second, all right. Any discussion further? Hearing none, all in favor, including Beth way up there, of accepting the minutes, say aye. Or raise your hand, Beth. Thank you. Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, moving along. Recognition of guests. I'll go to online first. I see there's a bunch of people up there, huh? And I can't read them, so we just say we have 5 people.
I think there's members of the public.
Okay, members of the public, thank you. Welcome, by the way, members of the public. We do like having visitors to our meetings. And regular guest back here behind me. Could you introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, I'm Bill Russo. I'm just representing the Conservation Commission and placing.
Oh,
Larry,
okay.
it was Larry.
Yeah, Larry is resigned.
Yep.
So,
Welcome, our liaison.
yes. My background actually.
Oh,
And had a chair for the Old Saybrook Coastal Resilience Coalition. So we also.
okay. Beth, could you hear that?
It was a bit quiet. A bit quiet.
So it's Joe Russo, he's representing the Conservation Commission. He's replacing Larry Ripsaw, I forget how it's pronounced his last name, who was our liaison essentially from that board.
Great, thank you.
Okay, moving on down the bench. By the way, this is our owl, so you might want to project towards the owl. so
Okay.
that-
All right.
can hear.
Hi, I'm Nancy Moran. I'm the president of Old Saybrook Rotary. And we're here if you have any questions on the peace poll.
I'm Lieutenant Carroll, and I'm a member of the Rotary. And I chair the peace committee, so we can discuss this.
And I am Chip Adams with the Old Saybrook Rotary, and I serve as a liaison with youth and students and the Interact clubs. Also here to support the peace poll. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, correspondence?
In your packets, there's a correspondence today. This was sent out from First Selectman Carl Fortuna to all the boards. It's something you can read through. It's essentially talking about being on Zoom
Right.
Zoom meetings and being here at meetings as opposed to on Zoom calls. Beth, I will send this to you as well. But you guys can read through that at your leisure or right now or wherever you'd like to do that. But it's for all the boards and commissions.
Preference of the members here, do you rather just, look at this and then if you have any comments next month, the next meeting? Okay. Beth, is that okay with you? Okay.
Brown Sergeant.
Yeah.
All right, any other correspondence?
No.
Review of bills. Our favorite session.
Next page in your packet, you should see the bills.
I moved out.
Yeah, they're sitting on.
Oh.
We had some pieces of wood sticking out the other one. We had to get rid of it.
Older.
It's a little warm, which is good.
Ray, has our subscription to the field fertilizing taken place yet? Does that start?
It doesn't have to start this.
Hasn't started yet.
We'll put everything down.
April.
General temp needs to be above 55 for the dirt itself, so once we get a little higher here. I'll be taking care of that.
There was the background checks just on new people. You don't have to do it every year on,
Our coaches.
so it's just on the people doing all the program.
Yeah, we have to background check coaches, camp employees. things like that.
But not if they've been working prior. Just
Every year,
Every year for everybody.
state mandate.
Interesting. Yeah, it's true. Then you get it. Plus,
Any other questions, Beth? Do you have any? Okay,
I'm just curious what this item on the last page, tree trails is ready for a trip.
Program trip?
oh, program trip.
Oh, that's program trip's not right. That is actually signed to the.
Sounds for reserve.
Yeah, that's, I don't know why it's called programs.
Well, you took a trip out there.
Yeah, yeah.
See the signs, right?
any other questions? All right, moving along. You. Public comments? Anybody at the public would like to say anything? Raise your hand. There's a little thing on the bottom. You to do that? I see none. Going once, going twice, we'll move on. Okay, so now we have new business, and we have some people from the Rotary Club. Amazing. Welcome.
Thank you.
And what can we do for you? What can we do for them?
Well, they presented last month, so they wanted to know the board's decision on whether or not to accept their peaceful in any of the parks. So it's on actually.
It is our main, huh? All right. Okay, as I like to do with consensus, what does our commission feel with having a peace pole somewhere on our property?
Does everybody know what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
We were at the meeting.
Great.
Seems like the discussion was more about where it would be, not if it would be, but more where it would be and what kind of material, would be appropriate for where it goes, And I think we were also, interested in hearing what, goes to the high school, there was some talk about, one of the students creating something, so, see, I don't know if you get any feedback on that.
There is a young man named Braden, who I believe is a junior working with a shop teacher, and he is constructing a peace pole out of wood that will be placed on the old Saybrook High School campus. And we, as far as we understand, Braden has yet to start that project, but he's very energetic and we're going to touch base with him as he gets going. Our traditional peace poles are of a very durable plastic, which you may have seen in Acton Library.
We actually brought it here.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yeah.
So you saw that one.
The one with the like the four sides.
That's right. And our understanding is Braden would also make a four-sided pole out of the peace message.
The universal message is made peace prevail on earth, and as we showed you, ours we have simple languages. That would be a person to whatever. This would be a gift from the Rotary.
Yes.
So there's no, we have a grant.
So Beth, I'm not sure you could hear that, but they explained that they have a grant that they would be able to give Park and Rec should we decide to have one on our properties, $500 towards the cost of implementing the peace pole. I know your voice is very terrible, but poor Beth over here is trying to catch up.
Right.
Yes, Jim.
Yeah, I know at the last meeting, when we had our presentation, there was some discussion about possibly having the young man that's doing the high school poll also make an additional one so that they would have a uniform look and dimensional
Right.
aspect to it. Obviously, if you're going to make it both out of wood, you probably need some shellac or some sort of outer coating so that it would be protected from the elements.
That's right.
And
Just
he's
shooting-
working with this shop teacher, so.
Right.
We had understood that to be the case, yeah.
I mean, economies being what they are, if you make 2 or 3, it's
Yep.
sometimes better to have them all done at the same place so that they all look and appear the same. My first shot, and the board can weigh in this, would probably be some place over in Town Park on Schoolhouse Road. And of course, that would depend on how the final layout goes, or it could be planted now and then taken up when we do some of the major construction we're gonna be doing out there in the next months, years. And then replaced at an appropriate time also. So I think I think we sort of had a consensus that it was a good idea. The question is just where we would be and what would be made out of that sort of thing. I guess from what the young lady had discussed last month, we decided there was not really a standard material that they make the pull out of. It could be PVC, it could be wood, it could be metal.
That's right.
I think just keeping with the rustic look of Old Saybrook, maybe wood would be good if they're proposing that at the high school as well.
Cheryl is also on this Zoom meeting.
Yes, and you're right. Some of the peace poles that we've seen have not been just that standard. So you're quite your decision as to the construction.
Right.
I mean, is it something that we as a commission want to vote on tonight as to where we
I-
want it to be, or do we?
I think we need to have a
A little more
discussion.
time.
I will admit that I fell short. I was supposed to speak to the first selectman's office in regards to a couple of properties, but with the budgeting process and a few other things going on. I failed. I'll admit it, it's on record. But I will pick that up to see, thoughts, with them as well. I did not get to the historical society to see if they had any thoughts on what to do. I know we had discussion that we, like to keep symmetry with our signage in town. And so I don't want to step on any toes with the architectural review board either. So you can see it's a little bit process. Having said that, I know that you would like a certain time frame that you want to work in. What is that time?
We have to do it within a certain time with this grant,
Okay,
and that has to be by, I believe it's June. So,
Well, we have to, I would say certainly we need the commitment and the, at least, we know that something is being constructed there. It would be preferable if we could have something in the next several months.
before the end of this fiscal year, June?
Yeah, because July
Is
first,
that
we
fair
start
to
our
you?
new year in Rotary.
So Beth, did you catch that?
Cheryl has her hand up.
Oh, Cheryl?
Yeah.
Beth, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me or no?
This
This
is
is
Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Yeah,
Cheryl,
hi.
we can hear you.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So in order for us to comply with our grant, the rules of the grant, we would have to have the project completed, I believe, by the end of August. Funding has to be done by June 30th, but we have through August I believe it's August 31st to complete the project. Meaning the pole would have to be planted by that point in time
Well, that's
for
a
us
good-
to comply with our grant requirements.
Yeah, in terms of the, school's out mid-June. So that's a concern, and then it would, I don't think this would be something we will work on in the summer.
We don't have to have. the
Yeah, I
student
can
do
see
it.
it working.
Correct, we don't have to have the student do it, as nice as it sounds.
Our understanding was he was going to be able to, it is fairly straightforward. It's a 6-foot 4x4 essentially. That he planned to have it done by the end of the school year. But we will double check. And I'd be happy to get back with somebody to confirm that.
Do we think we'd be overstepping our boundaries if we approved something without, going through the proper channels? I mean, granted, where it goes, we've got a little more time, but having it constructed.
Well, I think they also said it doesn't have to be constructed by the high school, so they have
No,
a pole
no.
that they could get. So I'm not sure the construction part of it. My concern would be the location where you want to put it. I wouldn't want to have it in an active park.
right,
I don't think
no,
it's an
that's
act-
what- it
I don't
needs
think
to
it's
be
an
a
active
quiet-
park.
Yeah, it needs to be a quiet space.
Yeah, it needs to be a quiet space. So whereas town park might be a good idea, it's an active park. Trask is a very active park. Ferry Road, Maple Avenue, things like that are very active. So if you're going to pick a location, just keep in mind the status of that particular park.
I think there's areas of town park that might be, appropriate though, because it's, it's acreage, we got, I wouldn't put it next to the soccer field, but, there might be a pretty spot. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about town park,
I
but,
think Main Street Park too, I mean, it's off of the main walk area. There's lots of grassy area over there too, but it's off the beaten path.
Maybe that phase 2 area.
So Beth, could you hear what we were just saying?
I did, and I had a couple ideas as well. If there was a chance to voice them. I was just thinking, I do, if we were to go with it, definitely prefer the wood look over vinyl. And I had thought as well, maybe somewhere at Town Park in like a rustic wood, or I had thought it would be neat, driftwood, if you did one at Harvey's, like we have a huge piece of driftwood in our yard, like something like that. And then also, just in case we didn't partner, say with the students, there is a local woodworking mother in town who may be interested in also taking something like this on. So just a thought.
So what would we like, do we have a consensus that we'd like to go ahead with this, but next month we'll come up with an idea of where to put this?
Now, can I say one more thing? I do have a concern regarding in town if we want to have one. How many other places in town have you connected with to try to have these? None, just the high school? Because you'd mentioned the library a little earlier. I didn't know if you approached anyone else, so I don't know if it'd be a great idea if the library got one, the chamber got one, the high school got one. I don't know if that'd be a great idea, so I didn't know if you contacted anyone.
The schools in the area, so Westbrook High School, Old Saybrook High School, and the youth services in Lime Old Line. Each of those campuses will have a permanent pole. Acton Library, I think I might have mentioned that, had been gracious to allow. We have one that we put up on an event basis.
Oh, the portable one?
A portable.
Sure.
And that was displayed in Acton.
Understood.
It would not be
I
a
understand.
long-term.
It was inside the building?
It
Yes.
was, yeah.
Okay.
It's
And-
inside right now and in between our meetings. When we have our meetings, we pick it up and we have it at our meetings. So we use it once a week, but we didn't want to put it into storage and just let it sit there. And when we asked the Acton Library if they wanted to display it in their library, they were very happy to do that.
But to Ray's point, to be clear on the answer to that question, the only permanent ones are currently scheduled for the high school, and this would be a permanent one. in Old Saybrook where it has location in terms of. Yes, absolutely, but it's important to understand.
So hypothetically, if life is beautiful and everything goes along, we come up with an idea of where we want to put it. So we have, if I get it right, a commitment, a solid commitment by June of your time frame. And then I think we could easily have it done in the August time. So that gives us some leeway. Sometimes things happen that we have to devote our time to, and not that I don't think this is important, but it may not have the priority that we set out.
Absolutely.
But, and with Beth here in conclusion, we have a consensus here that we want to go forward and definitely look for a place if possible.
I motion that we move forward with a peace bowl somewhere in our parks.
And I have a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Nancy seconds it. Any other discussion here? No, all in favor?
I just wanted to
Sorry,
make
Jeff.
When you said you were going to check with Carl and the town planner to see what any restrictions might be on the design. Probably not tie-dyed or anything like that, but, in keeping with the, you've seen the blue signs around town that Park and Rec has for the different activities and fields, and probably something in keeping with that, I'm imagining.
I'm imagining that too, although, this being a wood structure, then, we may not have that much constraint. But I just want to touch base with them. I think I can give you that information by email so that everybody gets it on a blank thing, whatever I find out. Yes, Brenda, you had something?
No, my shoulder.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I really wouldn't want this to be considered signage. To me, this is very different than signage. So, in my opinion, I think it would be a more unique thing if it weren't trying to fit in with the stylism of our park signs, which are, done a lot to make it very consistent. This is more, I think, a more artistic feature. Yeah, that's pretty and unique. I think it needs to be very unique is my point.
Yeah.
So I would say, I would hope that, the board of selectmen and the town planner would see this as a unique structure. And not try and make it fit some kind of, code.
Um,
Other than,
and
safety, safety.
and with what you're saying, my idea was more like we got kiosks and they have a certain field in our fields for information, like especially our, the Clark Community Park area. And I think we can probably bring it in with that. We do have some leeway because it's our, it's Park and Rec land. But I just wanted to touch bases with them so that we don't feel like.
Well, I think we should, but like I said, I think it needs to be more, to me, the more unique it can be without being,
A
Beyond
directional
or,
sign or something.
yeah.
I agree.
I think it would be stand out.
Any thoughts, Beth? My back is to you all the time, so that's why I'm keep coming.
No
back to
worries.
you.
No, I agree. Unique, aesthetically pleasing. Somewhere like it was brought up that there might be ones at the school, but you also can't access that property during the school day. So somewhere everyone would have access to during the day if they'd like it.
So let's, I'll try to contact these people before our next meeting. I'll give you all emails on what I found and what was suggested. And then, each of us will be looking at our own properties to see if we can.
Do you want to run
look
on
at
that?
one.
I interrupted your rope before I thought.
Yeah. Okay, any other discussion? All right, motion on the floor, all in favor of this motion, say aye or raise your hand in your best case. Any nays? Any abstentions? Okay, we will move forward with that motion. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I did, while we were talking, the student's name is Braden Burke, and he is working with his shop teacher, but also with assistant principal Dave Black.
Okay.
I know Braden's mother.
Okay. Okay.
Great kid.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
All
Jim.
right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, we are too. Bye.
Thank you online. We
Good.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Just say something.
Yes, ma'am.
You would have to check with Carl and Chris zoning,
Yes,
because that's gonna have something to do with it.
I
I mean,
agree.
nothing bad, everything good.
No,
you
but we
just
have to
still-
touch bases
yeah.
and that's why I was
Okay,
making
I
it
just want
not
to say
quite
it.
cut and dry, but it's
It's not part of.
not
the
going to
record,
be
but I just
Mount
wanted to say
Everest either, I don't think.
Yeah.
Should we make that part of the record though?
I
You
think we
said you
discussed
would,
that. It was
yeah.
discussed.
that. No, yeah, I just,
I didn't mention zoning. I did mention the architectural review board.
she'll tell you.
I'll go to the land use still directly.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll get back to you all. All right, next one is Harvey's Beach vendor discussion.
So next in your packet, you'll see there are two applications this year for the beach vendor for Harvey Beach. Our first application is Shore She Shed, Kimberly Morgan, who has been doing this for the last few seasons for us. The next one is called Get Roasted LLC, Anthony Ruidi. For you guys to look through. Obviously, this time of month, the last few years, we've only had one applicant, so it's been pretty easy for you guys, but all the applications, both applications rather, have all the pertinent information that is asked for in them. You can see the menus of both applicants, what they would be looking to do. And
Hey, Ray, I'm sorry, I don't have my packets with me, but I remember looking at them last month. Can you clarify, do they both have seating for people or does only one have seating for people?
Neither one should have seating. We have seating at the beach itself.
So
It's
that will
on-
be there regardless, the picnic
Yes.
tables? Okay,
That's correct. Those are our picnic tables, yes.
great, thank you.
So what do we know is an attraction for Harvey's Beach? Definitely a concession stand. Obviously, two very good choices of different menus. The price point on one seems a little more family friendly.
And Kim is online. You need to ask her any questions.
Okay. I'll open it up. What do we think about this? I know there's a lot of people go there for seafood.
But, you know, we haven't been in this situation before, so. Yeah, we have to be a lot, you know, before it's pretty easy. It'd be nice to change things up. A lot of people don't like change, they want it to stay the way it always was, so.
Sorry.
It was like, that's hard, that's a difficult, you know.
It is.
it's a
I mean, they
difficult,
both have a similar food making apparatus. So that's not a concern. It seems to be able to fit in the same place, so we don't have to change anything there. I'm sure it goes on propane and different things like the previous one.
You know, and I mean, in terms of what, it doesn't really matter to the park and rec, we don't make money off of this, other than what the fee is, and that has nothing to do with how much they sell.
Okay, I'll take this off. I'll make a motion and we can maybe second and discuss it after that, I guess, but probably start somewhere. So I'll make a motion to approve Shore She Shed LLC is the, approved vendor for Harvey's Beach for the 2025 summer season.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor for Jim to approve Shore Sheet Shed. Is there a second?
I second.
Yes, seconds. All right, now we're open for a discussion.
I think, if I may, Sue, you know, what you had said was probably very accurate. I think they're both very similar in a lot of ways, and you probably can't go wrong with either one of those, but I know that, many of the people I've talked to had thought that having the hot lobster rolls there at the beach was definitely an attraction. I don't know if it's gonna make anybody go to Harvey's Beach. Well, actually, I do know people that just go down to the beach to get that lobster roll and then they take off, but, you know, as an attraction, it certainly is helpful to have a known quantity there. And, you know, they have the standard fare for kids as well with the, Italian ice and the hamburgers and hot dogs. I think they probably offer a wider variety of things if you want to include the lobster rolls. Obviously, lobster rolls aren't for everybody, but for the people that like them, they're there.
I like how it's a nice change to from granted town beach is just for residents, but what you can get from kind of that snack shack versus this. And my kids love the Italian ice, and they get it every summer, and it's just a nice thing to go down there for.
So to Jim's point, and I know it's a very popular, attraction there. People know Kim. They know what she offers. She's got it decorated nice, like, you know, she keeps it very clean. I think she knows a lot of people that go there. So there's a relationship that she has with a lot of the patrons, so, I think that's positive.
I do like the Aggie Ranch.
Yeah, it just looks nice down there, how she has it set up. And it's an unknown, the other one's an unknown, and the prices are a little higher than what Kim has listed.
Are these prices?
She's saying that she doesn't know
Not
that,
sure
yeah,
what the prices are gonna be, so I think that's, you know, I mean,
and she knows she doesn't wanna price herself out.
Yeah.
We're gonna go, oh, now the hot dogs are this, I'm not buying. You know,
Yeah,
as
I
business
mean-
owner, you're very careful, but.
yeah. And that doesn't really affect us, you know, and she's motivated to
Right.
make it work, you know,
This
if
is
she
a
goes
money
too
maker.
high,
Yep.
she's not gonna get the business, if she goes, you know, so.
Right.
We all know food prices are going up.
Yeah.
No,
And I know Humble Hot Dogs is going up where I get them.
Yeah.
Going up $2 for the.
And the market price is the market price. We have to do anything with that. Just to be devil's advocate here, I mean, I've seen this other gentleman's cart at different fairs and stuff, and it seemed that his food, was for hers, whoever's gonna be running it this year, was good. So I don't think we can go wrong with that, but I do feel, being on the seashore and having definite sea-related food on the menu as well as regular everyday beach-going food with hot dogs and hamburgers with a class. It's my 2 cents. Beth, you have anything?
Not beyond what I said before. They're both good choices, but I would go for Kim's personally.
You know, the problem, I'll be quite honest, you know, I saw some pretty rough stuff on Facebook, and that's not really, you know, we're not here to keep anybody from talking, but, you know, there's freedom of speech and all that, but certainly at the property, I wouldn't want any harassment or any, anything like that, and I think we'll be attentive to that. You know, if we continue to go with Kim's food truck, you know, just need to watch the decorum when it comes to things that are on our property and said on our property by, you know, people that are representing us. Because this stand reflects our town, you know, because it's on town property. And this is a special opportunity that we give to one business owner, to be kind of a food truck. Right, you know, that's an exception, compared to any other place in town. We don't really allow food trucks, so this is a unique, situation here, and I know I've gotten an earful about it, but I don't want that to affect my decision, and I do stand by for freedom of speech, but want to be really careful in terms of what happens at Harvey's.
I agree with you, because it should be a nothing political. At representing, because we don't have that on any of our other properties.
Right.
So we have to be consistent with that. But I think we can, review that. Whether should we go with, sure, she said. Any other discussion? Jim?
I think Joe wanted to say something maybe?
I'll
I just
open the
want to hear
floor
what
for
everybody has to
public
say.
comment.
I was just saying, why don't you have both? Why is it limited?
Good question.
Limited space, really.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, well, technically, for the record, we're not using this as a food truck. This is a concession stand. It just happens to be part of our zoning that this concession stand can move off this property during winter months. So just for the record, everybody, we may refer to it in conversation as food truck, but it is a concession.
It's a food vendor.
It's a food vendor.
But I mean,
Um,
the space is better this way.
I think it would be really hard for the vendor to have enough. You know, on the weekends, it might be fine, but Monday through Friday can be pretty slow. Yeah.
They just say on weekend. I mean, you know,
Well, I don't think like the way it's set up, they've got to kind of commit to being there every day. That's part of the contract. So,
And there is
I mean-
limited space, we have limited space for cars, and if it's bad weather, we have the trouble of water on the parking lot. But limits space even more, so, I think it's a unique idea.
Well, I
I'm
know,
not sure it
other
would be-
places, the trucks are, food is very attractive.
sure, yeah.
Down at Mill Road.
Oh,
Any other discussion?
Saying. Shut up. It's all- That's all I'm-
The motion on the floor at this time.
I think that could be a period.
Ooh la la.
Bring it back to the
So
motion
on the
again.
floor. I will second the motion of Jim.
I think we.
But yeah, that's already there.
Yeah, we'll
Sorry,
discuss
yeah,
it.
right,
Any,
sorry.
any other discussion? Going once, going twice. All right, call for the vote. All in favor of store, she said, she shed, for our concession vendor for Harvey's Beach, say aye, or raise your hand in best
Aye.
time. Any nays? Any abstentions? All right, so we have made a decision tonight.
Darn, Robert. I wanted to-
All right.
Okay. Any other business before we go to programs, facilities, personnel?
Sorry, I was fixing the house.
That's okay.
Where are we at?
We are C under new business.
And no, I don't have any new. business.
We're moving along to old business, all parks review.
Well, we are in March, I started ordering everything that we need for the fields already, and we've started actually working on baseball fields, and believe it or not, it's Little League, and we'll be starting in like 3 weeks here. So, it's really, this time of year is really, gets crazy with us, getting things done, so. Weather stays like this, we'll be in good shape, the fields are put together.
You just read.
Oh, geez, I know. Fields are put to bed in pretty good shape, come winter time, so we have limited things that we do need to do to them right now, which is nice. And then once it gets a little warmer, we'll get the waters on and go from there, so. Other than that, we'll just be moving forward with all of what we do in the spring, which is a lot. So I've been working with Public Works a lot on those fields.
In regards to parks. At Saybrook Point Park, we've, made our new traffic pattern.
Yep.
Everybody's coming in and out. Can we have some larger signs to say, do not exit? Because cars are still coming out the way they used to. Yeah, because we want them to enter one way, but we do not want them to go out.
Well, you gotta clarify though where you're talking.
As you're entering from
Near the
Still Bridge
flagpole.
Street by Vicky Duffy Pavilion.
So right now it says there are do not enter signs on the back sides of those signs.
Yeah, I was wondering if you can make them a little bit bigger.
Although those are where they're set, standard sets.
They are,
You can't,
okay.
that's the standardized size. So,
Hmm.
Do you think it's a problem?
Yeah, when we were there, we did several meetings. Everybody got in their car once this way, not that way.
I understand what you're saying, and it's also a brand new thing. So I think when more people get down there and use it more, I'm hoping it'll be less of a problem. That's not maybe the case, but I'm hoping it will be. When anything's new, any traffic pattern
I know.
anywhere, people
Or
do the same old thing, right? So.
humans are like
Yeah,
habits. We like
you're
to-
trained to do it a certain way, right? So,
Is it painted yet?
yeah, it's painted. Yeah,
Done
the
that.
arrows are all painted in there, so. The one issue I see with the traffic pattern are the two parking lots. Crossing.
Yeah.
So once you're leaving those parking lots, certainly the one closest to the flagpole, the easiest thing to do is go right. And everyone's done for their whole lives. So now they're gonna go through the whole parking. I think that's part of the issue. And those signs are really close to where they turn. So I think that is legit part of the issue. And there's really no other place you can,
Yeah,
you know, you do have a sign there that says one way, you know.
the only other thing I was thinking of, because I was looking at traffic patterns as people were coming out of big meetings that had lots of people.
And at night, it's certainly a little bit different. too.
It is, and I know it's gonna get lighter as the
Yeah.
day gets long,
Yeah.
but I was wondering if we could paint on the tarmac there, you know, big arrows that only go one way. Okay, that large, because I didn't see that.
Well, here's my experience, because I forgot that we were, doing the whole thing, and I, a couple meetings ago, did the same, like, the way and then, and as I'm driving out, I'm like, the arrow says I should be going that way, I'm gonna be going this way. And the next, but I remember, I remembered, and, I was really very conscientious about it on Monday night. So I think we just have to give it a little time and, I hope there's not any, collisions. I mean, it was like that
I know.
forever and it was not an issue and I think people know that just if somebody's coming out and somebody wants to pull in, you shouldn't be going very fast and you should be able to work it out, and just see how time goes on.
I think time will be a key factor in this, and I think also, once people get used to going one way, you're gonna have the people that stop the car going the wrong way, go, hey, you're going the wrong way, so it just might take some time.
It just
We're
caught
gonna
my
have
eye
a
while I
parking
was
attendant there
walking.
this summer to direct traffic, right?
Well, we may
Sure,
have
Bill,
to have
Sure,
an attendant.
Sure, I'll do it.
We may have to have an attendant on TV.
Yeah.
I was just wondering,
Jim and I will be out there with like yellow vests and
I'll hold you to that.
I just went and tow a couple cars, but I think maybe the state's cracking down on that.
All right, thank you. Strategic plan and parks discussion.
So last month, Jared spoke about, adding the strategic plan there, make sure everyone starts, so instead of putting in a new business, I just kept them in their old business, but the two things that you have in your packet are the scope of work of where we're at and the next steps really of where we're going with it. And the other one is the actual strategic plan in front of you, so make sure we revisited it. I did have a conversation with brief one at that with Jeff Jacobson, from Jacobson, who was doing the work on this. He had knee surgery, actually not knee surgery, knee replacement surgery. So he's been out of the office for a few weeks and he's not back there yet. And so he didn't have an update for tonight. He plans on getting back there next week to start working on this again. Hopefully have a little bit more for next week.
Great.
Unfortunately, life got away from him. So, but this is obviously the strategic plan. You've all seen it before. For those of you who have not, Beth, I have a copy of it in my office for you as well, so you can swing by anytime. If you hadn't seen it yet, but in the scope of work, the yellow is what's been completed. The green was what was worked on. I think some of those greens, because that was from a few months ago, have been completed.
Okay, green is completed?
Green, some of those greens should be completed.
Yellow is.
Yellow's
Yeah,
definitely
okay,
completed.
okay.
Some of those greens we're working on, and some of them have been completed since that's been printed. And then the next phases are really the white ones that have nothing left on.
Okay, green's in progress.
Yeah, and thank you for that word, in progress, yeah, if not completed, so.
What?
But
Yeah.
there's obviously there's a lot to this whole thing.
Yeah.
Jane and I had a discussion the other day, and I think that kind of clarifies a little bit more. To get so you can see it, and sometimes it's hard to realize all the steps that have to happen.
Sure.
And there's definitely a lot. And sometimes I don't think some of the steps are always necessary, but I'm not the one who makes those decisions, so.
Yeah.
But it's what we have to do.
Yeah, and this is March 2021. For some reason, I thought this was older than that. So we're literally at the 4-year mark since this was put out. And costs have changed.
Sure, costs have changed, yeah. And the 4 parks that we went with was Town Park, Main Street, Harvey's, and the point, I believe, is there too. But, we did already start some work at Town Park. We got the disc golf course in there. That was part of that strategic plan. Main Street has certainly been completed. And, we're moving forward.
This hasn't been updated, right? With like the plan that we did for Town Park. That's not,
Nothing,
this is the original.
that's the original strategic plan. And the plan for Town Park wouldn't be in any way. This is a conceptual
Right,
plan of what
okay.
should happen.
Then we've changed a couple.
Yes, that, exactly.
Yeah, I almost wonder if we should, just put our names on these and leave them here. Unless, I mean, people. The reason why I say that is because, it's a lot to print. A lot of ink in this. And, I think this is a good, I just want to make sure that I have this when I come to meetings.
It can always
And
be
if I-
stored in my office. I have no
yeah.
problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, because I think, this is keeping our eyes on the prize and what, we do a lot of things that are important. But I think this is pretty much the most important thing that we got going on. You're running this place day to day, this is really what is like the big thing that we want to make sure we are advocating with our board of selectmen and our board of finance and our community, and communicating with our community and finding a way to make sure that the community knows what's in the works, what's in the plans, what we've accomplished.
Yeah.
And it gets kind of muddy when you're trying to explain that, what's going on with the bocce, bocce court. Those are part of the steep grant. That really wasn't part of the strategic plan, and it really wasn't, it was its own unique project. So that people aren't so, why don't we have more pickleball courts or whatever, I think it helps just give feedback to the community.
How about this? On our website, we have, I'll do an update progress report, basically.
Yeah, that'd be great. Also, do you know, are the horseshoe pits still at Town Park or
They
they're
are.
gone?
They are.
I just worry about the safety of those stupid spikes.
That was an Eagle Scout project
Yeah.
12 years ago or so. Right.
Thought too, it's back on the other subject, but might it make sense since we're talking about how we let the public know what we're doing, if we could put something about the new one-way traffic like in the Chamber's little quarterly magazine or on the website or something? Just because perhaps if people read about it, they would No,
Yeah.
more so than just seeing the arrows or the signs, or because I know
Yeah.
I'm there every Tuesday night and it's very hard to see in the dark, the arrows.
They're good dark.
It is dark there.
Days are getting longer though.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Yeah.
drawing or a picture, of how, like an overview of that, right? That might be,
The original's not white, where we put all the signs. It's because they're not.
You need a drone, so.
Yeah, when you go down there, the signs need to go in a different spot where a drawing goes, because it makes sense.
okay, just wondering if you have something,
Yeah,
sometimes people see a picture, they get it a lot quicker than, okay, we changed the traffic pattern at, Vicky Dep.
During sunrise, I'll go down there and get this in photos for Facebook.
we can do that.
That's a good idea, yeah.
And I'll say
Facebook.
something new at Saybrook Point or Saybrook Point Park. As
Which,
opposed to.
Yeah.
Do it on the flagpole. Fix the traffic.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. I
Overhead.
appreciate that. No problem.
Oh, is there?
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness, if you haven't noticed, you do joke a lot here. But yeah, no, I think that's good, and
Good
then
idea.
we can cross it over to the other Facebook pages too,
Good.
from those, but, I think it's something that we'd like to get most of the people knowing before we get the influx of our 6 month 30-second guide.
This one?
No, yeah, and like you said, I mean, we did it
Yeah.
December,
Showing her,
you know,
like,
so it
that's
wasn't
like-
really a lot of traffic down there, but yeah. That was time to
Yeah.
get people.
Yeah. Okay. And speaking of that, Main Street Park discussion,
So, you know, we want to do our grand opening there,
of course we do.
and it's March. We're not gonna make the March meeting because we're having it now. I'm not sure the April meeting would be the best meeting to have it at. I don't think it'd be warm enough. I would like to,
What? Why not April? Because when?
I just don't think it'd be warm.
Oh,
enough.
it's just, okay, I got it, yeah.
I was thinking May is our grand opening week, month, whatever we want to call
There'll
it.
be little leaves on the trees.
Yeah, that, all that good
A little
stuff, and the grass should be a little greener
Yeah.
than what it will be. So I wanted to pick your brain, do we want to do it during a Park and Rec meeting? Like prior to the meeting, or have the meeting there, or whatever, or have it on a completely different day? Where, I don't know what everyone's schedule's like, that's all. So.
Or during the beginner bocce program that you're offering.
That's right.
Well, I mean, good point.
Could be on a Saturday, it doesn't have to
Do
be
you
on
have
a Wednesday.
signups yet?
No, we didn't start signing yet, so they all just came out, so. But I didn't know what day you guys want to do, but I was shooting for, I wanted to do something in May.
I wanted to do something that we could invite the media, regardless of what newspaper or TV station they are, so that we could have really a nice photo op there.
Totally agree.
And I think Saturday would probably be better than us trying to race home from work, get there at 5 o'clock in hopes that we make, evening news.
And that's fine. Just a few things to keep in mind on Saturdays in May. T-ball, baseball will be taking place, just for people with kids. And then second week in May is Mother's Day weekend. There's
Graduation.
Graduate.
College
College
graduation.
graduation.
I know.
Maybe you get into May,
There's always something
So-
going on, but
but that's okay. I mean, it could be the first week of May. I'm not even sure the date. I think it might be May.
So May 3rd, and then May 10th is graduation
Yeah.
Or what? Oh,
for Jack.
a lot of colleges.
And- Yes, 3 years. And then the 17th is the next weekend, and then the 24th going into Memorial Day.
Yeah, so that wouldn't work. So
Yeah.
I think if you're looking at a Saturday, May 3rd might be the only Saturday you'd be able to do that on. And that's
You know,
okay.
Maybe we don't, I don't know. Honestly, we could pour our hearts and energy into trying to get people there, and I just don't think it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? There's just a lot to compete with.
Absolutely.
So, I'd rather see it during the week.
okay.
The days are long in May, so,
Sure.
5 o'clock is still pretty bright and sunny out there. We could get people after work and I think for the people who really care, I mean, think about who's gonna come, it's gonna be us.
We'll invite,
And,
and we'll invite the selectmen and some of the other
Yeah,
commissions, things like that.
And
yep.
local representatives.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
But
So,
I'm just, I don't know if you want to do it. I'm all for during the week too, by the way. I didn't know if you want to do it on the week of the actual meeting, that particular night of the meeting, or have a different night. In general.
So it'll be May 14th is our meeting.
I don't think there's a reason not to do it on the
Yeah.
14th.
That's the night we keep free anyway.
That's what I was
Is that
saying.
good?
Generally, that's
Yeah.
always happened, it's
Right.
easier for the commission to be there. Sure.
I think we ought to make it at like, I don't know, 5:30, yeah, and then if we need to have a meeting afterwards or vote on anything, we can certainly do that. I'll be over there after. Just walking across the street, but have some refreshments over there, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
And, ribbon cutting, is that what?
Yep. I'm a big scissors,
Okay. Do you have some big ribbon?
yes.
All right, so wait,
Well, we'll shoot for that, then, that's great.
And, if the weather looks terrible, I say we push it to, because it's really about photos.
Yeah.
Getting a photo in the newspaper. It's,
For sure.
doing the press release before or after.
The 14th, maybe the rain date, the following Wednesday, the 21st.
Yeah, big.
For Memorial Day, so people could hear about it, and then whether they're going to parade, go check it out.
Hopefully doesn't rain, but because that is usually a lot of staff meetings for me that week.
Yeah, or we could do it,
It might be tough.
we could even do it the next day.
But let's see. Well, let's, at least we settle on a day.
Keep the cake in the
did you hear that, Beth?
So 5:14
Okay.
or 5:15?
5:14 or 50.
At 5:30.
At 5.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Okay, moving along to reserve update.
BOCCE. You should preserve update soon.
I did.
Well,
Well,
I'll say this. I can start.
go ahead.
The forest management plan has been kicked up the DEP chain to get signed and has been delayed due to a few groups in Connecticut putting a couple of complaints together to DEP so that they review it. Those complaints to make sure that they can proceed with what they need to proceed with. That being said, it doesn't mean that we're moving forward with what we're doing. We are moving forward with what we're doing. We did meet at our last ad hoc meeting with Kimberly Bradley, who is the Trails Coordinator with DEP, to start the process of getting the public use plan rolling. So there'll be more to come on that in the near future. And we're hoping to have that process done in a year and a half to 2 years at the max. And, that's really gonna be the next major phase of the preserve to get it to where we want to get it to, a public space that everyone can utilize safely, accurately, with different uses.
So to that end, we have started did we finish putting up all the preserve boundary signs?
No, Alex is not.
So we're gonna be doing that. We will be doing, reviewing what we call the frog bridge, which if you go into the preserve, that's the dilapidated bridge that doesn't exist anymore, that you get your feet wet. You walk down the trail. We did decide on going forward with that. Temporary bridge. Because it's not, that we don't have the funds to do a permanent bridge yet, but it will be a temporary state bridge.
Do we need to put funds aside for that?
Not yet.
We don't, we have, with the preserve, there is a, money set aside for that purpose. But in order to do it, we have to go through these other steps. In order to obtain that money, we have to go through these other steps of having, a use plan,
The state has $500,000 set aside for the preserve for maintenance projects and other things within the preserve. Those funds cannot be tapped into until the forest management plan is officially signed off. And it is not officially signed off on yet. So there are other funds from TPL, Trust for Public Land, that were from donations when the project first got kicked off. And we can tap into some of those funds for certain projects as well. We do have some funding off budget in the preserve. But we're not going to tap into those because we want the state to do some of the other work first. So.
Okay.
Yes, there is some funding, but as of right now, to answer your question, no, we do not need to set aside.
So who holds the money? The state?
State holds the
Are
money.
they investing the money that they set aside for the preserve? That 500,000, is it in an account making money? Or is it just in their pocket and they're only gonna give us the 500?
That's up to the state. I have no idea that one, Nancy. I don't know.
Just
I love your
with
accounting
interest
brain,
rates the way
Nancy.
they have been, like they could have put that 500,000 aside and thrown it in, maybe.
No idea what they're talking
I could post that question to the next CMC meeting.
I'm wondering, like, if they set aside 500,000, is it in its own account and is it accumulating any interest?
We've been told through the years it is in its own account, set aside earmarked only for the vision.
So it should be more than 500,000.
Alright, yeah. I get
That's
it.
my question.
That's not up to,
Right,
yeah,
I
we
know,
wouldn't have any of that.
but
information.
No, but I can pose that.
I would
question to them.
love to know the answer to that question. I've never heard of anybody having 500,000 in a set of like a bank account that doesn't earn any money. That'd be a terrible investment.
They could do it.
Good
Oh, that's why we're on record.
question.
I'm not telling you any secrets, I don't think.
The state is amazing organization.
Yeah, because they'll take the interest for themselves and just give us the 5.
That's exactly what they're
And-
going to do.
Right,
I was
but
gonna say
that's
that.
why I want to know that account is
Not
set
putting
aside for
that
this
in.
purpose.
I get it.
All income generated from that money in an account should be to the purpose.
I like
Not
your
to the state.
thought. I will bring that before the CMC.
We want our interest.
I want my
Absolutely.
interest.
Yeah.
But who pays tax on it? That's a whole other problem.
Okay,
Turn that tax rate off.
so I will pose that question back to CMC. Any other business regarding programs, facilities, personnel under old business?
Just program booklet wise, it is out for all our summer programs and all the programs are on the website. We have turned on the system for beach passes. So we started selling those already. They are on the Park and Rec website this year, not on City Hall systems. We've switched our vendor to us. So we've already sold a bunch. So. it's been
Spring
great.
is sprung.
Spring is sprung, that's right. We were earlier this year. We usually start selling them April first.
Hmm.
We started selling them last week, so just because we had them, we had the capabilities, we went for it. And it's been,
I saw the social media push for it too. That was nice.
Yeah, email.
yeah. And that's all I have on.
Okay. As for chairman's report, well, I've been going to the preserve ad hoc committee meetings, the city CMC meeting, and the various budget meetings for our group, and that kind of brings us up to this date. How about director's report?
The only thing I'll add is we're certainly in the process of hiring all our staff for the summer. I'm very lucky so far this year. A lot of returning staff in our parking attendants, our camp staff, mini golf, concession stand. So it looks like I haven't hired anyone officially yet, but it'll be a minimal hire this year. But lifeguards are always in need. So anyone knows lifeguards, anyone is getting one, let them know to apply.
Is there gonna be the same problem you think with a lifeguard certification?
What's the problem?
We had a hard time finding, I think you were gonna offer to.
I did offer, so people who did get hired, they,
um,
I offered them a reimbursement or what they
Go to the
did,
YMCA or something, yeah.
or if they had to get their research.
Right.
But, hopefully, I haven't heard from a lot of the guards from last year. Put it that way.
Was there any movement on, when we discussed the increase in parking? The
And,
$5 increase, did that have to go to the first selectman? or-
No, that's a your decision, so it's already been done.
So it's, okay, so it's.
Sign's already made up,
Mhm.
all ready to go.
Signs are already. paid.
No, but like the $5 increase to come to Park and Rec and not to the general
Oh,
fund,
that part of it,
that part,
that is something you guys need to bring to us, like.
to the selectmen, okay, so who has to do that?
I've been very vocal about that. Almost every instance that I can get to bring that money back, not into the general fund.
Well, I'm just saying, even just that $5 increase, like we did the mini golf, the $2 increase, now we're asking for that $5 increase on the parking at Harvey's to go to us, not to the general fund.
I know, that's what I've been saying.
So,
all
and
along.
Carl's aware that we're asking this?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Trust me. And so is the Board of Finance,
Okay,
every chance I get.
Okay.
And at any other meeting I'm at that they mentioned some of the monies, and I said, well, I have an idea because, you know, we have a strategic plan and it's going to cost more than the 100,000 that you gave us on a rainy day fund and a special fund.
Okay.
So, yes, but it behooves speaking of that subject, and you best, it behooves all of us whenever we're in a situation where we're meeting at any of these commission meetings to voice our opinion, that is what we really think should be happening. But in my opinion, the more they hear it, the more likely it will be thought about. So, having said that, any other liaison reports?
Kim has her hand up. I don't know
Oh,
if
Kim,
you
I'm sorry, I
recognize-
beg your pardon. I didn't see you, my back was to you,
I didn't
please.
either, so. Kim, the floor is yours if you'd like to say something. I see your hand is up. But you're on mute. No,
But she might be waiting
Can
too
you
long.
turn her off? Can you unmute her?
no.
She's muted on her side. If you can hear us, Kim. We're allowing you to speak, but you have to unmute yourself. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, she's out of here.
Oh, you're out. I'm sorry, Kim, for not recognizing you, sorry.
She's up there before to raise her hand.
Oh,
I think she's
okay.
out there, so.
We should try to exit your door, but
Could have, sure.
we'll go with that.
All right, thank you for coming. I hope to see you again. And, you can come to our ad hoc. For the reserve, fourth Thursday of the month.
John.
Yeah. Because, definitely, it's very important that
What's the revenue height?
across the street, Main Street, we had phase two, we had to put the policies phase one.
Oh,
Then there's
for
also
occupancy.
Dogwood, yeah, you got it. Yeah.
You a Bunty fan?
We will be.
Lots of great positives there.
So I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
We have a motion on the floor to adjourn, is there a
7:37.
Thank you,
second?
ladies.
And we have a second. And thank you, Beth, for
Thanks, Beth.
hanging in there.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Not bundled up. Let's go outside.